Hello everyone, this is ASMART-books, and today we'll be having a look at the Kingdom Hearts visual art collection. This is one of the first things I ever bought on eBay. It's a very old book. It's a little bit worn, there's some pages falling out, which you'll see, so I apologize for that. On the front cover here, we have our heroes, Sora, Donald, Goofy, and then Riku and Kairi. And under the book jacket here, there's this beautiful black and white drawing, and we'll see that in color inside the book, so we'll look more closely at it then. And then this text here, it says, "Thinking of you wherever you are. We pray for our sorrows to end and hope that our hearts will blend. Now I will step forward to realize this wish. And who knows, starting a new journey may not be so hard, or maybe it has already begun. There are many worlds, but they share the same sky. One sky, one destiny." The first page here is the first little bit of the cutscene. It says, "I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not?" And then here's Sora floating in the dark ocean. And there's some text in Japanese. I don't know if it's the same as what we just read. Kingdom Hearts Visual Art Collection, CG and Illustration Works. Image illustration. A lot of these pages are oriented differently, so I'll just do my best here. This is the box art for the game, and I remember seeing this image before the game was released, like in magazines, and just being intrigued at how mysterious this was. This giant heart-shaped moon, and this key sword, and these Disney characters with these strange weapons, and just the fact that it's at night and it's kind of backlit by the moon, it just makes everything mysterious and in shadow. This is still one of my favorite images in all of Kingdom Hearts. Oh, actually, I think the next one is vertical too. Let's see. Yep, okay. Right. So here we have kind of a moody image of Sora and his friends. Sora is kind of in black and white, and his jumpsuit, I guess you could call it, looks black instead of the usual bright red. And then his friends in the background here all look a little bit angry or moody. And then we have this image from the cover. It's got a beautiful soft look to it. And they're all sitting around these ruins and rubble. And right here it says, "Deep Dive Kingdom Hearts." And there's this little crown that's like scratched above Sora's head. And then next to Kairi here, it says, "Dive into the sky." And there's a little wing. I really like the images that have the softer coloring like this. I think it's very beautiful. And here we have Sora with a flag. He's got his little hood up, which we never really see in the game or in really any other artwork, as far as I know. So, and I really like the watercolor look to this picture. I don't know if it's actual watercolor or like a digital effect, but I think it's quite nice. And then here we have Sora with his friends in the background. And then here's our villain, Ansem, and this mysterious stranger. And we don't see him until Final Mix, so this might be like the cover art for Final Mix. We never got that in the US. And Final Mix was just a re-release of Kingdom Hearts that had extra bosses and extra content. And he was kind of the bonus final boss, and of course you learn more about him in the subsequent games. And of course you learn that he's not really Ansem, but I won't get into that. That's a horrible black hole. Okay, here's our heroes in a nice battle pose. They all have their weapons. Goofy has a shield, and of course the Keyblade. Donald is a mage, so he's got his wand. Riku, I think his sword is called Way to the Dawn, I think. And Kairi, we don't see her weapon until Kingdom Hearts 2. And here's just Sora, Donald, and Goofy maybe exploring a town, just kind of a fun little image. Okay, let's flip this around here. So this is just the cover image again, and I really do like the line weights on this. The line goes from really thick to thin. I think it gives it quite a dynamic look. And here's Sora sitting on a throne. He's got this little crown, and the throne has like a heart and a Mickey symbol. And there's a lot of crown imagery associated with Sora. He's got this crown necklace, and he's got this little like chain of crowns on his hip, and the Keyblade has like a crown in it, and a lot of the artwork, like that crown that was scratched on the rubble, kind of juxtaposed against Sora's head. There's just a lot of that, and there was speculation for some time that that might mean Sora was like royalty and he didn't know. And we know a little bit more about Sora now, but it was just kind of an interesting thing. After the first game came out, people kind of speculated what that might mean. Okay, and here's that image from the front again, and this time it's color toned to be at night. It's got this cool blue filter on it. It's very nice and peaceful. Okay, and here's some pages about Sora. Here's the image of him that we see on the title screen. And on the title screen, I think it's been a while, but I think there's a sound of the ocean waves. And of course, Dearly Beloved plays in the background. And here's some CG pictures from the first cutscene. And then Sora's quote, "Along with any other worlds out there, I want to see them all." And here's Riku holding the Palpu fruit. And here's his little quote, "I've always wondered why we're here on this island, if there are any other worlds out there. Why did we end up on this one? And suppose there are other worlds, then ours is just a little piece of something much greater." Here's Kairi. Very beautiful, soft image. No matter where I go or what I see, I can always come back here. Here's Kyrie in the cave, I believe. Don't ever forget, I'm always with you. Dive to heart. And here's Sora at the end of the intro movie. And here's something I really, really love. It's the stained glass floors of the Princesses of Heart. This is part of the tutorial. You're going up this staircase to these different towers, and these are the floors of the towers. And you've got Snow White, and she's surrounded by the dwarves and some woodland animals. Cinderella. There's images of the castle and the horse and carriage, slippers and ballroom dancers. Aurora, or Sleeping Beauty, with the 3 fairies and roses and thorns. I think hers is my favorite. And then Belle and the Beast, and the rose and the castle inhabitants. You've gained the power to fight. Use this power to protect yourself and others. There will be times you have to fight. Keep your light burning strong. The door won't open just yet. The closer you get to the light, the greater your shadow becomes. There was a time when I thought that quote, the closer you get to the light, the greater your shadow becomes, was like the most profound thing in existence. But this came out when I was in middle school, so, you know. But don't be afraid, and don't forget. You are the one who will open the door. And here's Sora, surrounded by doves. And this is, this is a beautiful concept art image of Sora falling through this dark water onto this glowing stained glass structure. And to me, deep water and dark water are one of my biggest fears. It's just Sora floating here like in the middle of nothingness is just absolutely terrifying to me. But it's juxtaposed against this beautiful structure and this light from above. And there's something in romantic art called the sublime, where it's an image of something that's kind of scary juxtaposed with something beautiful. And that's what this is to me, sublime. And here's our first world, the Destiny Islands. Here's the island from the front, and from the back, the cave with all the little drawings in it. And this is Sora's bedroom, but it's very dark, so we can't really see much other than this little desk. And we see Sora's room for like half a second in the game, and we hear his mom or maybe his caretaker say like one line, and that's all the information we get about where Sora comes from. So it's interesting to see these little tidbits. The inhabitants of Destiny Islands are Titus. I know they say it Titus in the game, but no, it's Titus. Screw you. Waka and Selfie. And Final Fantasies 10 and 8 are my favorite, so this little group here makes me quite happy. And they have quotes from all of them. I'm not going to read all of them, that would take all day. I will read Titus's, though. Why would you want to cross the ocean? Sword fight, beat that any day. Waka and I are working on a new game. Everyone fights for the ball and water. Let's all try it sometime. Of course, you and Riku will never be star players like me. And of course he's talking about Blitzball. And here's Disney Castle. Here's the outside of it. and the gummy ship hangar, and King Mickey's study with Pluto's little bed there. So, Disney Castle, we have Queen Minnie, Daisy, Pluto, the Broom, and Chip and Dale. And this is the letter from King Mickey that Donald and Goofy find. I guess I'll read this. Sorry to rush off without saying goodbye, but there's big trouble brewing. Not sure why, but the stars have been blinking out one by one. And that means disaster can't be far behind. I hate to leave you all, but I've got to go check into it. There's someone with the key to our survival, so I need you and Goofy to find him and stick with him. Got it? We need that key, or we're doomed. So go to Traverse Town and find Leon. He'll point you in the right direction. Would you apologize to Minnie for me? Thanks, pal. And here's Traverse Town. This is one of my favorite worlds. I really like the theme music, and I like how it's always at night, and there's these street lights and things that give it kind of this enchanting atmosphere. And the people in Traverse Town: Merlin, Fairy Godmother, Perdita, and Pongo. Let's see which puppies they are. Rolly and Pepper. And of course, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And here's Wonderland. One of the more frustrating worlds, in my opinion. This is the room where you can change size. This is where Alice's trial is. The Mad Hatter's tea party. And this room that you explore when you're very small, so everything looks big. And here's Alice, the Queen of Hearts, Cheshire Cat, White Rabbit, some card soldiers, and the doorknob. And next we have Olympus Coliseum, which is a little bit boring in my opinion. It's basically just an arena that's 2 or 3 rooms. And in the sequel, you get to explore it a little bit more, and you get to explore the underworld from Hercules. And that's probably my favorite world in all of Kingdom Hearts, just because I love the movie Hercules, and I love Hades, so just exploring his world was kind of cool to me. And then in the Colosseum we have Cerberus, Phil and Hercules, the Ice Titan, the Rock Titan, and of course Hades. Next is Deep Jungle. It's the Tarzan world. And we've got Tarzan's treehouse and the interior of the treehouse. Some beautiful concept art of the jungle. And the characters in this world: Kala and Kerchak, Tarzan and Jane, Sabor and Clayton, and Turk. Oh, there we go. This is Agrabah. It's the Aladdin world. And here we have the Cave of Wonders, the city of Agrabah, an interior room in the city, and I think this is inside the Cave of Wonders. Our characters are Jasmine, Abu, Aladdin, Genie, the Cave of Wonders, Iago, Jafar, and the Flying Carpet. Here you can see where the book is just falling apart. This is Monstro, the Pinocchio world. It's inside the giant whale Monstro. And here's all of the ships that Monstro's eaten. And then here's Monstro's guts. This is one of my least favorite worlds. I really just don't like this color palette. I like the pastel colors, but this like bright yellow stomach acid stuff, just don't like that. And I really just don't like Pinocchio in general. Like the story or the characters, they're just not interesting to me. But we've got Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket, and Geppetto. And here is Atlantica, the Little Mermaid world. I love these cool blues and greens. Very nice. The controls in this world, you swim. All the characters get like marine life overhauls. So you're swimming, and the controls for that are a little bit frustrating, but it's definitely better than what Atlantica was in Kingdom Hearts 2, which I will not get into. But our characters are Ariel, King Triton, Sebastian, Flounder, Flotsam and Jetsam, and Ursula. And here's one of my favorite worlds, Halloween Town. Who doesn't love The Nightmare Before Christmas? I know it's a little bit done to death in modern society, but I still love this movie, and I always will. And getting to explore that world and walk around in it was such a treat. We've got Oogie Boogie's casino, his lair, the graveyard hill under the moonlight, and Jack Skellington's house. Like just getting to walk up and stand on this hill, oh boy, that was cool. We have Jack Skellington, Sally, the mayor, Dr. Finkelstein, Oogie Boogie, and Zero, and Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Here's Neverland. Here's Captain Hook's pirate ship, and a view of the room layout in the pirate ship. Here's the interior room with a very cozy looking bed, and the clock tower in London. And you can also fly in this world, and it's very similar controls to the swimming. Again, not my favorite, though I do like Peter Pan quite a bit as a movie. We've got Peter, Tinkerbell, Wendy, Mr. Smee, the crocodile, and Captain Hook. And here's one of my favorite worlds, the 100-Acre Wood, which is of course Winnie the Pooh's world, and all of the concept images look very storybook, very soft, and watercolor, just like they could come right out of a children's book. I think that's very cool that they did it like that. And here's all of our favorite characters from Winnie the Pooh. We have Rabbit, Piglet, Tigger, Pooh, Owl, Roo, and Eeyore. Here's Hollow Bastion, one of the coolest looking worlds in the game, and the theme music was very nice here, but there were a lot of puzzles with getting around. You had to like slide on these rails and move things, and that was frustrating to me. This image is really cool. We can see what's under Hollow Bastion. It's neat. And the princesses of Heart are being kept here. There's Cinderella, Snow White, Aurora, Belle, and Beast, who comes to save Belle, and Maleficent and Maleficent's dragon form. Here we have the end of the world, the final boss world. I do like the color palette here, and just the imagery was so like desolate and apocalyptic. It's really cool. And here's Ansem and his shadow thing that he controls, and Chernobog. And here's Ansem's monologue about darkness. Don't bother, your voice can no longer reach him where he is. His heart belongs again in darkness. All worlds begin in darkness, and all so end. The heart is no different. Darkness sprouts within it, grows, consumes it. Such is its nature. In the end, every heart returns to darkness whence it came. You see, darkness is the heart's true essence. And Sora's reply, that's not true. The heart may be weak. Sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned that deep down, there's a light that never goes out. Okay, now we have Heartless illustration. These are just some of the enemies in the game. The guys on this page are called Pure Blood Heartless. They all look very similar. They all have the like black forms with the yellow eyes, and they're all like naturally occurring heartless. And I don't remember all their names. They're in Japanese, so I don't have any help here. This guy is either Shadow Ball or Dark Ball. He's just Shadow. This is Dark Side. He's the first boss at the end of the game, at the end of the tutorial. I think he's called Invisible. And this guy, I don't remember this guy. Okay, here's some of the world bosses. This is the Guard Armor. He's the boss of Traverse Town. This is the Stealth Sneak. He's the boss of Deep Jungle. This is either Trickster or Trickmaster. And he's the boss of Wonderland. This is the Parasite Cage. He kidnaps Pinocchio and keeps him in his little stomach cage. So he's the boss of Monstro. I really don't remember his name at all, but he was the boss of Agrabah. And the Phantom, who's the boss of Neverland. Here's some of the basic enemies you run into. These little mushroom guys, I don't remember their names. They're called like mushrooms or truffles. Power Wild, Bouncy Wild, who you run into in Deep Jungle. These undersea guys you run into in Atlantica. He's probably from Neverland. And these guys are from Agrabah. This is Pot Spider and Barrel Spider. As you can see, very creative names on these guys. The Search Ghost from the Nightmare Before Christmas world. Halloween Town. What am I thinking? Let's see. Soldier Heartless. Bandit. Fat Bandit. Again, very creative names. Behemoth. Defender. He's a very difficult enemy to fight. I don't remember his name. These guys are basically the same enemy. You can't hurt them from the front because they've got these big bellies that you just bounce off of. So you're supposed to jump behind them and hit them, but when there's like 3 of them lumbering around, it's really tricky. And these guys are all called Emblem Heartless because they have this emblem on them. That means that they were artificially created by Ansem. here's some more. Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe Wyvern? Or maybe your Wyvern. I don't know. Air Soldier. Maybe Pirate Air Soldier. These guys are all magic users. They all have names like Rhapsody, Nocturne, maybe like Sonata, and then their color. So this would be like blue Nocturne or like yellow Rhapsody, but I don't remember which color goes with which like musical term. Okay, final mix. So here's some of our bonus enemies. Here we have, I think they just call him the Hooded Stranger or Cloak Stranger, Mysterious Figure or something like that. And here's some of our palette swap bosses. Very creative. Yeah, guard armor with just palette swaps. Phantom with the white cloak. They put a lot of time into this. There is one new boss here. That's Kurt Zisa. He's an Agrabah boss. And the reason he has such a weird name is because there was a contest to have a Kingdom Hearts boss named after you. And the person that won was named Kurt Zisa. Some more Heartless. These guys are Neo Shadows. They're an enemy that you run across quite frequently in Kingdom Hearts 2. More palette swaps. These are particularly horrible, especially this guy. These all look like Neopets recolors. He might be new. He's new. This little scorpion bot thing. Let's see. Palette swap, palette swap. Slightly different. And here's our main character illustrations. So here's our main group of heroes: Riku, Kairi, Sora, Donald, and Goof. There we go. Okay, here's Donald. He's from Disney Castle. I really like his outfit, and I wish that somewhere in this book they had pictures of Donald and Goofy in their original, like, castle guard outfits, because those are pretty cool as well. Here's Sora, our main character. He's 14 years old. He's from the Destiny Islands. We have a little quote from him. Although my heart may be weak, it's not alone. It's grown with each new experience, and it's found a home with all the friends I've made. I have become a part of their heart, just as they have become a part of mine. And if they think of me now and then, if they don't forget me, then my heart survives. Here's Goofy. Again, very cute outfit, and I love the art style with the dynamic line weights. There we go. Here's Riku, and he is 15. Let's see. Oh, his quote is, I've already read it. Ansem, our villain, and all we know about him is that he's male. Let's see. Yeah, I think his little quote about darkness here is the same as the monologue I read earlier. I really like his outfit. I like his shoulder armor with all these buckles. And his boots are the same ones that you see the organization members wearing later. I think they're the same. If not, they're extremely similar. Yeah, I think he's a cool outfit. It's nice for a villain to wear not just solid black, but he's got a little bit of color in his outfit, which I think is nice. And here's some Kyrie. I used to have shoes like that. These kind of like slip-on things are real popular. I guess a decade ago. And armbands and things like that, sweatbands, those are also popular. Let's see, she's 14. Her quote, "This, I'm making a necklace of thalassa shells. In the old days, sailors always wore thalassa shells. They are supposed to ensure a safe voyage." Maybe not the most iconic quote, but okay. Here's the Halloween Town variants of her heroes. Pretty cool. I used to have a shirt with the Halloween Town versions of Sora, Donald, and Goofy, like standing in front of the graveyard curlicue hill with the moon behind it. And I think the moon had like this glittery stuff on it. And I wore that shirt so much the design just completely disintegrated. Here's the Atlantica versions. Goofy is a sea turtle. Sora is kind of a shark merman. And Donald is an octopus. He's got a very sassy pose going on there. And next we have our Final Fantasy characters. Here they all are in silhouette. Here's Cloud and Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. And back when I first saw this design in Cloud, I thought it was the coolest character design ever, but now it's a little bit cringy with how edgelord it is. He's got these tattered bandages on his Buster Sword, this claw glove, a tattered cape that kind of obscures his face, and especially this one demon bat wing. It's just horrible. And they changed his design in Kingdom Hearts 2, thankfully. And Sephiroth, I actually like his redesign. I like that they added a little bit of color with the blue in his wing and the red on his outfit. And I actually have a really nice figure of Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth. And the way that his cape, or yeah, I guess I'd call it a cloak, cape, jacket, the way that it flares out on the figure is really cool. Okay, let's turn this around. So here's Titus. I think you've gotten stronger, but odds are you're still no match for Riku. We took him on 3-1 last time, and he whipped us all. He's got just a stick in place of his sword. And here's Selphie, and her weapon from Final Fantasy VIII is like a nunchuck, so that's replaced with a jump rope here. Alright, now you're talking. Riku and Kairi sure are busy these days. I should send Titus and Waka to check up on you guys. And here's Leon. They call him Squall here, and he is Squall, but he's very adamant that he goes by Leon in the games. And I love, 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 love his outfit. He might have a few too many belts going on, but I just, the longer hair and the red lion crest thing, and just, oh, I love Squall. Okay. It was the only way to conceal your heart from them, but it won't work for long. Still, hard to believe that you, of all people, are the chosen one. And Leon is a bit salty that the Keyblade didn't choose him to be the hero. And here's Waka. Now, Want to learn a special technique? To hit a moving target, you gotta lock on, and you won't lose track of it. So either they were running out of quotes for these guys, or they just kind of picked these lines at random. Here's Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. I really like her outfit. It's extremely similar to what she wears in 7, but it's nice and simple. You're the only one who can stop the Heartless. Show us how it's done, Keyblade Master. I sure envy you for seeing a keyhole. Well, this time. And here's Yuffie, looking very cute. And she's also from 7. I heard that the Keyblade can open all sorts of locks. Give it a try next time you find a treasure chest or locked door. Again, probably not the most meaningful quote, but I'm not the one picking these. And here's the Moogle. Welcome, Kupo. You can use your items to make unusual new items, Kupo. I won't read the rest, it's just Kupo. And here's Sid, looking a little bit older, more gruff than he does in his new Final Fantasy VII game. And he's the guy that fixes your gummy ship, I think. Yeah, he is. Because he's an airship pilot, that's right. Over here we've got some really cool stuff. Another side, another story. This is the bonus movie you get. I think you only get it if you complete the game 100%, which of course I did. But yeah, this is a little thing that happens in between 1 and 2. And you don't find out, well, you can surmise this is Riku, but you don't find out about this guy till 2. And of course we know that that's Roxas. And they're in the world that never was, and there's all these neo shadows around. Deep dive. Utter silence. A world without you. It's a very foreboding image of Sora standing alone on a crossroads. Okay, and here's some more images from the bonus movie. Just both of them fighting with keyblades, surrounded by all these Heartless. I used to make Kingdom Hearts AMVs back in the day, and this little movie had the best clips for making AMVs. So over the top dramatic. Here's Riku, and he's like standing on top of this giant skyscraper, and he jumps off of it. Roxas jumps up, and they're like fighting in midair. It's cool. And then here's this weird little Photoshop images of these characters. It just says The Gathering. And here's, at the very end, there's this image of Sora like flying over this dark, stormy ocean. And that's it. Oh, I've got a little, this is from a magazine, just a little thing I flipped out. It's promo art for Chain of Memories, which was a horrible game. Okay, and that is the end of this book. I don't know if they ever put out one of these for Kingdom Hearts 2 or any of the subsequent games. I've never really bothered looking just because I already have so many art books. I don't really, like, if I see something at a convention, I'll get excited about it, but I try not to, like, seek them out specifically now, just because I have so many. But if there is one for Kingdom Hearts 2, I would really, really like that. So maybe I'll look into that someday. But thank you all for watching. I hope you're all as excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 as I am, now that it finally has a release date. so that we can see more of the beautiful worlds that Kingdom Hearts gives